Welcome to another episode of our podcast, Life Without Purse. Today on the show, we have Mike Rynart, who I met. Mike, what was it, like 4 years ago?
Yeah, I think it was in 2018. So yeah, something like 4 years ago that I had you on my podcast. So that was cool.
That's amazing because look at the power of the podcast and the internet. So Mike is right now an agency owner in Miami, in the US, and we met through a podcast like this one. So that's the just power of the internet and connections. That's number one. Mike used to be a web consultant. Right now he's more into the business. He also is involved into a company called Miami Guide. So he will tell us all about that, but also he understands the power of personal branding and helps businesses market themselves, scale, and grow through automations and all the marketing tools that he's got at his disposal. So we'll talk about that as well. So Mike, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Great to be here. And thank you for inviting me and look forward to the show.
Look at the coincidence. So 4 years ago, we're going to link the podcast that you did with me, which was amazing, by the way. That's when I was just writing my book. And you, how did you find me?
Oh, that's a good question. I think that book helped a lot because I saw, I think, an article somewhere and was reading your story. And I found it really interesting. So that's when we just reached out to you and we connected and did a podcast. So you were one of my first guests on the podcast. And so it's great to still be in contact with you.
So awesome. Personal branding, podcasting, and marketing. But that's not what you did before, right? Like you started with web development a long time ago.
Yeah. I've been in web, as long as I can remember, like all my life. I started, when the web came out. So in the 90s, so like 96, 97. So basically around, web 1.0. We didn't know, it wasn't called like that because, the web was new and we're using dial-up connection. Web pages were taking forever to load. And at that time, I started just figuring it out. And I started, creating web pages. So, because, I'm a creative person. Back in the days, I wanted to become an artist, but I followed the footsteps of my parents. They were in logistics. But then when the web came out, I saw that it gave you a big opportunity to create stuff. So I started to creating things like creating web pages in, GeoCities and Yahoo pages. I don't know if they're still around these days, but that was all there was. So basically, you could just read on the internet. There were like link sites and you could read for hours and hours, and I was creating wonderful things. You could do anything you want, because at that time there was no mobile web. You didn't have all kinds of different screens, and so basically you could do anything you want because there were no requirements that you had to obey, like screen sizes and resolution. So you just had you just created with the tools you had. So I had like a Netscape Navigator. They had a composer that you could create web pages. And we didn't have to worry about speed also because everything was slow. So but it was a great time. And as the web evolved more, Web 2.0, you could read and create apps. And I started to learn more and more about web development. So before, you were doing like everything, like front end, back end. You were basically the webmaster doing everything. Right. Yeah, I was a webmaster. So But then I started to specialize more, and I became a front-end developer. So specializing in CSS, HTML, and JavaScript. And I started building web applications. I worked several years for a big software company in mobile development. So then,
where was that? Where was that? Because you're in Miami right now, in the US, but prior to that, you lived in Europe. So tell us also about where you're from and what's your accent.
Yeah, I'm originally from the Netherlands. So I lived in Rotterdam, and I worked there at a software company called CM.com. So, and they are worldwide. Mobile. They built a mobile platform for payments and ticketing services. So, so there I learned a lot, and eventually, I started my own company in Miami right now. So, and basically also through podcasting, because.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So let's just get it all sorted out. So, number one, you're starting in Web 1, basically Web 1 or 1.0, whatever we call it. Then you transition to Web 2.0, so Web basically 2, where you can read and create and write, and then you become a web consultant as well on your own. So from working at the corporations and working for like other people, being an employee, you're becoming kind of like having your own business, solo entrepreneur, solopreneur they call it, freelancer, right? Do I have the timeline right?
Yeah, basically. As a web developer, you always have like side projects, right? So like 10 years ago, I decided to build a side project, which was called the Miami Guides. So it was basically a website listing like restaurants, hotels, events, and those kind of things. And that grew because Miami grew a lot as well. If you compare,
why did you think about creating Miami Guide 10 years ago when you didn't even live in Miami?
Well, I visited Miami quite often, and I really liked the city. I started it was basically the first city that I arrived to when I came to the US, and you had like all these movies, Miami Vice, and the gaming, like Vice City Stories. And I just love the vibe here. It's a great city and really modern. So I started, I love traveling as well. So I started this website, and it really grew. I also created like a social following as well. So we have like over more than 200,000 followers. Active followers,
right. not bot followers, because some of the people, they buy followers.
Yeah, we have a great engagement. And through that company, through that website, actually, I started my agency because, we were already like promoting a lot of businesses in hospitality, restaurants, hotels, and events. So through that company, I decided, okay, let's start an agency and help these companies with their marketing. And around that time, I also was running a podcast for the Miami Guide, and I interviewed a few people, and one of the persons who I interviewed at that time was a person who I started the business with in Miami. So
Benna, right?
Right, yeah, from Miami Real Estate. So she's originally in real estate here, and we joined forces, and right now we are the Miami Guides.
We're also joining forces, and I wanna underline the thing that is kind of the glue here, that through the podcast, you connected with your business partner, we connected together, and we lived in Europe. So I lived in the UK, you lived in Netherlands when we connected, and now we both, live in the US. And I'm thinking about also moving to Miami. So we might live in the same city soon.
Yeah, we can be neighbors.
Exactly. Yeah. So you have Miami Guide, and so through Miami Guide, which is kind of like the marketing and the sort of the guide, that's how you get people into the vortex, right? That's how you get people, like the businesses and people engaged, and that's how you create the value by promoting the businesses. And also you have all your expertise in the web, so you can now also connect the dots, and you created your agency. So let's what's the agency called?
The agency is called Ocean Sky Media. And we started just for the pandemic in 2020. I was here around that time, and we started. And a few weeks later, the pandemic broke out. So it was.
Let's go back to that time, and what was your reaction? Did you think that the whole world is gonna collapse? Because I had thoughts like that.
Yeah, I think it was definitely the feeling like a science fiction movie, right? So, and for everybody, I think it was a tough time. But I think, for us, it's also helped us to grow our business, because a lot of companies, were in need of digital marketing that time. So, and to transfer their business into, to moderize their business, create a website, and those kind of things. So eventually, it also helped us to grow. And we can also, as a digital marketing agency, we have the advantage to work remotely. So that also helped us a lot as well. Yeah.
But it's good to be localized and also know your market. So for you, Miami Guide is kind of like I would say, like the door opener, because you create value for businesses. You don't go like all the other agencies, like, hey, we're a marketing agency, we're going to promote you. But you actually have a tool at your disposal. You have people that come. And so who is who are the people that go to Miami Guide? And the people that you guys engage with, not businesses, but the people who actually use it?
Yeah, so the people that are visiting the Miami Guides, well, first of all, I think a lot of people find us through SEO. So we really make sure that our website is optimized, that it runs fast, so that it is in the top of the search results. So a lot of people who are searching for Miami for for example, if somebody searches for Miami events in May, then we make sure that we are on top there. So a lot of visitors, basically from all around the world, come to the Miami Guides. And we also have locals that visit our website and that we are in contact with. So we visit a lot of the local events. Miami has a lot of events going on. So, for example, last month was Miami Tech Month, where we had the first week was NFT week. So everything around NFT. We were there as well, covering the event. And after that, we had the Bitcoin conference, which I think you also visited as well.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. But you were at that conference as well, at the Bitcoin conference?
I wasn't there. One of my team members was there. So
how big is your team, by the way?
Yeah, we are now 4 people. So and besides that, we have several people working remotely as well. But here in Miami, it's 4 people. All of April was Tech Month, so we also had Emersoft and a few other events. And this month is it's basically right now it's Miami Race Week, the Grand Prix Formula One. So it's an exciting week as well. So it's basically every day there is something here. It's like today I will go to a few events, and it's basically every day. It's insane.
The question for you is, how do you, in your personal view, how was the change from living in the Netherlands to moving to your kind of I would say, I don't know, the dream sort of location? Because you said that you wanted you liked Miami, and you created the Miami Guide 10 years ago. You still lived in the Netherlands, and then you're moving to the US. So how was that, the whole move for you, how it affected your life?
Yeah, I built the Miami Guides, from the Netherlands. So that's already, something crazy. That's one guy, a Dutch guy, sitting in the Netherlands, is building this huge following and the website and everything, and be in contact with all these companies. So, it was just my passion and my dream to, move to Miami. So, I think I put a lot of focus and energy, on this move. And it is great to, finally be here. And eventually this website and brands, the Miami Guide, made it all possible. So
it's just crazy, the story and the process when you go about it and you describe it. That's what I wanted to kind of get from you, because that's awesome. Like, you were not paid for the first few years, I assume, right? You just built it because you liked it.
I just enjoyed doing it. It was a side project, and it was just a passion. And just, if something is really your passion, no matter what, just keeps you going. So I think that's important to, really find something that you like doing and just build it. And one day it became a dream come true.
That's awesome. So very interesting, because you moved to the US, you're focused on the Miami market. You have that Miami Guide project, and you have all of the, experience with the web. And you can not only optimize around SEO, do marketing automations, and then all the technical stuff, but you can also think about the marketing as a project owner, because you have that project yourself. And that's how you can get on the sort of, you can get the rapport with the local businesses, and now they become your clients. They come to your agency, and you help them. So what do you help them with specifically? Like, when a business, when you guys onboard, I know you guys have clients in real estate, right? Maybe some other clients as well that you can talk about.
Yeah, I think it's definitely important to find like a niche. So most of our clients are in real estate and the hospitality sector. So like restaurants, hotels, and real estate developments. And we help them with everything from branding and marketing. We do social media management, SEO, digital ads, content marketing, web design, growth-driven website design nowadays. We are a HubSpot partner, so we help them with CRM implementations. And we also give them like a huge reach through the Miami Guide. So if companies sign up with us, they have the advantage that we can promote them through the Miami Guide to a big audience, because we have a following of over 200,000 followers, and we have like 50,000 visitors a month on our website. So that gives them a huge opportunity to get their word out. So
what's the website link if people want to go to?
The MiamiGuides.com. Yeah.
The MiamiGuide.com.
Right.
So you definitely go there and check it out. Everyone has been probably to Miami or wants to go to Miami because it's a great city. I want to move to Miami. So again, the MiamiGuide.com. And Mike, let's talk about personal branding and storytelling, because you were at some point really focusing on that part, and you believe that everyone has a story to tell. So why should we share it with the world? Like, why our message has the potential to change, impact somebody's life when it's just words?
Yeah, I think, it's important to differentiate and really make a connection with people. So a backstory, how you started it, and what's your mission, your vision, your values. I think all those kind of things are really important to communicate that. in order to make a connection with people who you want to work with, because you don't want to work with everybody. You want to work with people you connect with. So it's important to have clear what's your story and where you're coming from.
From your experience, how important is that for let's say younger people that are listening to us, maybe in their 20s, 30s, that they have no clue. Most of them, they have no clue about branding and personal branding at all.
Yes. Well, at the end of the day, people want to. Well, there's so much competition. There are so many, like agencies, web developers. Yeah. So in order for people to remember you, they need to know, what's your story, and you don't know. Maybe not everybody likes it, but at the end of the day, people put you in a box, and they know you for one particular thing. So. Maybe with me, it was probably the Miami guy from the Netherlands, and that sticks with them. So you need something that people can remember you with.
So your story, you need to tell the story, because through the story and like the origin, they can relate to, and they can remember your authentic story, because it's not something that you just made up. It's right. It's like it's the actual story. So what can the people that are listening or watching, what can they do to effectively share their story with the world? Like what's your advice? What are your tips?
I think a great tip is podcasting, because that really first of all, podcasting is huge right now. It's everybody has a podcast. It's easy to set up, and it's a great way to connect with people and to share your story and to talk to people who you like and to connect with. And that already will get you like a lot of people to follow you, and it's easy to listen to, because you can listen while you're working out, you can listen to it while you're in the car or doing whatever. I mean, so I think podcasting is great to get your story out. And besides that, of course, have a website. And some of the things I did personally in the beginning was doing speaking engagements. So I was part of this community called WordCamp. I basically traveled all around the world to speak at events. So I was speaking in Tokyo. I went to Germany, Austria.
In English, right?
In English, right. Just to talk about, well, at that time, this was like 4 years ago, 3 years ago. I gave a talk about web development and how to optimize it for performance. So how to make your website faster. And eventually you become known for that expertise, and people will reach out to you whenever they need something like that. So
you become an authority as well. But
exactly.
why did you do that? Like, what's the point of like going and improvising and then talking to audiences? Because I know at some point I was so scared, to talk to people, to share my story, and I know that one of the biggest fears actually in the world it's public
speaking, right?
Public speaking.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, it is definitely scary. I remember first, if I look back to my first talks, then I'm really embarrassed. What helped me a lot is that I signed up with, I forgot the name now, but it's...
I was with Toastmaster.
Exactly. I just want
you
to
did
say
that as well?
Yeah, I did. Toastmaster. I signed up with Toastmaster, and they really help you a lot.
Yes, they do. They have a framework, and then I would definitely recommend Toastmaster. I did it for 6 months, and every week I was there. I was listening how they do it, why they do it, how they like just go out and share their stories. And then most of them, they were native English speakers in London. And I'm the Polish guy sitting at the back, and at some point, I managed to do the icebreaker speech.
Okay, you did it. All right, that's great.
I did the icebreaker, and then once I did the icebreaker, it clicked in my mind. I'm like, I have to start doing podcasts. I have to go out and I have to do, just talk and then not be worried, not be afraid that I might say something grammatically incorrect because I'm not a native speaker. But it's all about the energy as well that I see. Because you have to go out and you have to start talking to people and communicating. And it's not going to be through one speech, two speeches. You have to do it hundreds of times.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and definitely important for us as web developers. We are really like introverts. We spend all our time behind our screens. And that's a great way to express ourselves. And because, we have so much knowledge and value to share with the world. So speaking is a great way to share that knowledge.
Mike, one last question. How did you transition from being a web developer to being a project owner, a business owner, and freeing yourself, going outside the box, going outside the label of just being a web developer? Because that's a very difficult transition to go from one world, one bubble to another.
Yeah, that's a good question. So, well, if I look back, my journey, it definitely started with my side project, like the Miami Guides, and from there I was able to transition and build my agency. First, you need like a community. You need some kind of platform where you can reach more people. So the Miami Guide definitely gave me that opportunity to reach out to companies and engage with them and get clients. So you need something that makes it easier for you to start your business. So that was that's basically my.
So it was your launch pad.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's made me move to Miami and start my business as well. So and I think right now we are in amazing time. I started in an amazing time, Web 1.0, Web 2.0, and now we are in Web 3. Web 3. So basically now you can read, create, and own. So right now we have blockchain, NFT. And I'm right now really in the middle of it because Miami is like the tech hub of the world. So that's especially our mayor here is really pushing tech. There are many events around tech, and a lot of companies are currently moving to Miami, like Microsoft, blockchain. Like every day there is like a company settling down here, and it's an exciting time. Any
final words?
Any final words?
Summary, the juice.
Yeah, I think, if I think about, I don't know who is listening to this podcast, but I think also a lot of like web developers as well. And I think, my message is, to web developers. I mean, we have so much, knowledge and experience that we have like the power to create our life and our dreams. And I think right now it's definitely a great time to think about it, what you can do with it. So
the power of the internet and the power of action as well.
Yeah, and I think definitely also Web 3 is definitely I think that's really what will make us grow, especially because right now the power to earn also is like endless. There are so many examples. There is this app called Stepin where it's basically an app where you like
I heard about it, yeah.
Okay, so you're running, but while you're running, you're earning as well. So and they're like courses where you learn and earn. And yeah, right now we are creating stuff and also earning at the same time.
There's incentive. So there's incentive to everything that we're gonna do.
Exactly. And yeah, that's either through NFTs or the blockchain.
Let me ask you a question. Last question. Don't you think it's a bubble in a way that like everything is also like that you're walking and then suddenly you're being rewarded for that, or you're learning and then suddenly you're being rewarded for that. Before, people were learning, they were walking, they were doing all of that. And they didn't expect any like thing. They were like they were investing into themselves. And then, do you think there's a downside to that sort of also incentivizing everything?
Well, there are some bad stories like scams in crypto and NFTs, but yeah, I think every new technology has a downside. If you think back, radio. People were against it, even newspapers. There's this picture where everybody is sitting in a bus with a newspaper, and now they're sitting in front with their phones and television and all those kind of technologies. But I don't really, I have a little bit of like crypto, but I'm really not big in crypto. And I always felt it's a little bit of a bubble. But right now, I see the opportunities and the possibilities with the technology that people can own something and earn something with an app or they can own a piece of on the internet. And before we were only able to read and create, and now they can own something and earn something with it. So for example, you can create like a course, an online course, and people can buy it, but at the same time, they can also sell it again. So and then also, you have like royalties that you can give out to people. So you could also help like, organizations, nonprofits, to be part of something like that.
So ownership. So Web3 is incentives and ownership. And that's something that before we didn't have the framework and technology to monetize. And now with blockchain, we'll be able to do that.
Yeah. And I think we are just in the beginning. So I think at the end, everything will be like either an NFT. I don't know if it will be still called an NFT, but art is just the beginning. I think soon when you buy a house or a car, that will be like an NFT.
Token,
exactly, So that's
unbelievable.
We are.
So that's what you see, and based on your previous experience, you think that the future now is going in that direction, and that's your gut feeling as well. Not only from what you see and from what you study, but
are seeing it now.
That's the evolution that you see has been happening.
Yeah, and it's already happening here in Miami because people are buying houses through an NFT. I will go to an event this week where you get access with an NFT.
Wow.
So it's crazy. It's.
I would love to learn more about that actually, about that the access with NFTs. I will have I'm going to have a webinar soon next week that I will talk more about it. So more for beginners. So what is blockchain? What is NFT? And also how to market it? Because anybody can create an NFT. It's quite easy. You can create an NFT like in maybe 5 minutes. So, but more important is the marketing behind it, because you need to let people know that your NFT exists. So your website, your marketing and branding are really important. And that's the process that you're learning in order to be able to not only implement for yourself but also for businesses that you're working with.
Exactly.
That's awesome. Mike, thanks for being at the forefront. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate you. I know you're a busy guy, and I'm very excited. I'm very excited that we're going to go ahead and finally partner after those 4 years, and that podcast made it possible. and very excited for the future as well. We should be excited for the future, for Web3 and everything that's ahead of us. So, Mike, where do people go to find you? So the miamiguide.com, we mentioned that one.
The miamiguide.com, then you have oceanskymedia.com.
Which is your agency. Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, I will also send you a link for my upcoming webinar. And yeah, you can find me personally, MikeRynart.com. I'm not really active personally on social because,
you're busy because you're busy.
Social.
You're doing too much social for other people that you're not
exactly.
busy yourself.
I love to meet you again in Miami and have a cocktail somewhere on Ocean Drive. And
let's do it. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it, my man. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you. Take care.
All right. Thank you, Marcin.
Thank you, everybody.
Życie bez gruchy. Jedyny życiowy podcast w Polsce stworzony dla geeków.